Hi there, I'm Rex Sharwood, Nursery Manager here at Rogers Gardens. Today we're going to be taking a look at one of our new display gardens. This is our modern garden. I want to talk to you about some of the plants we used, some of the ideas we had for the design, as well as some of the benefits a garden like this has. So one of the great benefits of this garden is it's extremely drought tolerant. Once established, not going to need a whole lot of water. And one of the other benefits of the garden is obviously all the foliage and color textures that you get. The flowers on some of these Echeverias. A drought-tolerant garden does not have to be dull. It can still be bright and beautiful. So I wanted to bring your attention to one of the more interesting groups of plants we have here in this garden. We've got a great selection of Echeverias in here right now, a lot of which are in full bloom. The first one I'm going to talk about is this Echeveria Dix Pink. You can see where it gets its name on this beautiful iridescent pink flower stalk. And it's also got a great little ruffled edge to it that picks up some pink coloration as well. So another one of my favorite little Echeverias in here is the Echeveria Opaline. Opalina's got a nice chubby little leaf to it, real subdued colorations. It does get those same beautiful bright flowers, but really looks nice as a lower one here in the foreground. And then another one putting on a really nice show right now is the Echeveria Topsy Turvy. You can see it's just in full bloom. It's a really consistent bloomer, so you get a lot of flowers on each plant. And again, the foliage color just works perfectly with the other colorations we've used in this garden. So another just absolute staple of a succulent garden has got to be aloe vera. Now, most people have heard of aloe vera, really good when you have a sunburn, which I have a little bit of one right now. But also just a great architectural plant. Really kind of stands out here in the corner of the garden. Does get beautiful flowers on it as well. Like I said, one of those plants that you almost have to include if you're planting a succulent garden. So one of my favorites that's tucked right underneath the aloe here is this little cotyledon, sometimes called chalk sticks, or the full name, which is cotyledon orbiculata oblonga. Of course, that rolls right off the tongue, lots of fun to say. Love the texture on this plant. Also gets a nice coral colored bloom. Really like the way it looks with the Echeveria Opaline and the aloe vera here. So I also wanted to talk about a couple of what are sometimes referred to as paddle plants that we have here in the garden. This is one that you don't get to see as often. This is cotyledon silver dollar. The silver coloration of this foliage just really pops out. Again, nice and drought tolerant and great for kind of brightening up the colorations. And then over here we have Calathea Lussier, which is usually the one that people call flapjacks or paddle plants. This one has a nice green coloration to it, that red edge, especially in the bright sunshine, it really catches that. I really think it stands out beautifully in the garden. So if you wanted to plant a garden like this at home, it is really easy to do. I'm going to start off giving you a little bit of information on soil amendments. A modern garden like this or a succulent garden like this really is going to want well-drained soil. So more than anything, you need to add some sort of aggregate to the soil to make sure that the water is able to run through very quickly. One of the things I like to use is pumice. You can also use decomposed granite. That's going to be one of the most important additives you bring to that native soil or the soil that was already there, is that something that's going to allow it to drain. So one of the great benefits to a succulent garden or a modern garden like this is that it's extremely drought tolerant. Once established, watering this garden once a week would be plenty, and during the cooler times of the year, once a month is going to be just fine. So thanks for watching the video. I highly recommend you come check out this garden in person. Photos and videos just don't do it justice. While you're here, we of course have all these plants for sale and a great knowledgeable staff to help you out. Again, this is Rex Sharwood at Rogers Gardens in Corona Del Mar, California.